Hi YouTube and Temple of the Adversarial Forge. This is Palm. This particular video is going to be on meditation. Everybody within the Forge, they know that, and they actually get quite irritated. You folks get quite irritated at the fact that I say that meditation is the core foundation of all sorcery. But with any magical lodge or order that I've ever been in and worked with, it has been the core foundation. I mean, it's the very first thing you learn. It's the very first thing that you utilize to develop discipline and practice. Now, there are some places to start that I would recommend that really aren't propagated by most Klipothic orders. Beginning meditation. As a beginner, I would suggest guided meditation. Okay, now, the reason for this is that it involves the imagination. Okay, and the imagination is one of the most powerful tools of the sorcerer. Now, the current tradition that's being laid before me is about anti-visualization, stripping away the veil of illusion called the physical world. But it doesn't end there, because once you reach that state of nothingness, you have to be able to really experience and visualize what you desire. The anti-visualization technique didn't come until very recently. And that is where I started. Guided meditation. And this was back when I was learning under Ace Mai in Amarillo, Texas, before I was ordained a high priest of the Coven of the Primal Dawn. I was working draconian magic, and guided meditation was a big part of it. And I believe it was a stepping stone, because that is what allowed me to develop my imaginative qualities and faculties. This allows you to control your mind as well. Okay, because you are taking your mind in one specific direction and journey. You're learning how to get from one place to another without all of these compulsive thoughts. Now it takes practice, because even through guided meditation, you're going to start thinking about other things. You know, but the goal is to do the path working, do the journey without any interference. You know, really focus on your breathing and the journey itself. Learn to travel those inner planes without the hindrance of the outside world. So start there. Start with guided meditation. It's going to have a synergistic effect with your later practices. Trust me, it will. I mean, it did for me. I mean, there is not an apple here on this desk, but I can see it, and I can grab it and feel it in my hands. I can take a bite of it and taste it. You know, this is the imagination at work, experiencing that which isn't there to be experienced. It's a cool thing. Now, my favorite and preferred method of meditation is Kundalini meditation. Kundalini meditation, of course, is raising your personal energy from the root out through the crown. Now, a lot of traditional schools of thought, they tell you to start at the root chakra and bring this energy upward. Now, I do not agree with this. I just don't. Because the root chakra is one of the most corrupt and polluted chakras in the human body. So if the goal is simply meditation, I will start by conjoining or merging the outer dragon with the inner dragon. That's Dragon Rouge terminology. Basically, external energy, and you're bringing it inward to help purify and strengthen the subtle energy bodies. And then when it gets to the root, then bring it back up to raise the Kundalini. Okay? And this helps to dispel any forces at play within your energy system that are not conducive to your becoming. You start at the root chakra and just bring it up. To me, it's a half-assed effort. And the way I think, it's basically taking that polluted energy and polluting the higher, more spiritual energy centers. Now, there are other people that have said this as well, so this is nothing new. Now, when the goal is manifestation of intent, however, it is fine to start at the root chakra, because what you're trying to do is take your intent and push it outward. Okay, and it's very good to start with the root chakra, because, well, the sexual implications, you know what I mean? Because that's where creation of life starts. I won't get into the details of that. I'm sure mom and dad already had that talk with you guys. But, let's say you cast a circle and you've done your rite and you're trying to send this energy out into the universe. Then as you're focusing on your intent, then start at the root. Let it climax at the crown, and just like an orgasm, you know what I mean? Just let it burst out. Let it burst out of the crown and explode, and forget about it. Slam, bam, thank you, man. So that's the only time I'm going to start at the root chakra. All right. Very basic chakra information. I'm not going to get into planetary correspondences. I'm going to get into basic names and colors, just in case there's anyone out here who's not even aware of what a chakra is. There's a lot of people out there that really don't know, and I'm surprised by the number of people that don't. But the root chakra at the groin is red. Then below the navel is an orange chakra, or energy center. At the solar plexus, it's yellow. At the heart, it's green. The throat, it is blue. The third eye is indigo, which is bluish purple. And the crown is purple. Purple being the color of pure spirituality. This is the black flame. You look at a black light, what color does it emanate? Purple. Makes sense. Now, there are some schools of thought that say that it's white. Some say that the third eye is purple. But I'm a black adept. I stay away from the white darkness. get better results. With the intent that the crown chakra is purple. It's all about subjective preference, though. I'm not saying you can't be a black adept and, utilize the colors that you want. Do an online search. Don't be lazy. Look at the various schools of thought. Now, the important thing when you're doing Kundalini meditation is pretty much intent, the focus on the area, and the visualization of the energy center and its color. A lot of schools use mantra. If you want to use mantra, that's fine. It will help synergistically, but I honestly don't. Because I talk enough, as you guys know. I'm tired of making noise with my mouth. So, yeah. The goal is to feel the energy, though. Really feel it. And as a beginner, you're probably going to feel it very strongly. And as you advance, you're going to feel it less and less intensely. And the reason for that is, at first, there's a lot of blockages within the subtle energy body that need to be gotten rid of. So this energy has a lot of opposition. Okay, let's think about it. Hitting the wall, boom, you got this pressure. That's why the feeling gets to be so intense. But the energy is very real, and you will feel it. Okay, and I would give it less than a week. I know when I did it, the very first time I did a Kundalini meditation, I felt it right away, and honestly, it scared the hell out of me. But then I grew to love it. It became euphoric. It was just cool. It was neat. I'm sure pregnant women get the same kind of excitement, feeling something move inside of them. It's the same type of feeling. So that is the goal. You want to visualize the color, feel the energy. Okay, whether or not you utilize mantra, whether or not you're trying to manifest something through this, or just simply meditate. That is the goal. That's what you want to do. If the goal is manifestation, you want to focus on that goal, whatever desire you have, and experience it as if it is now, as if it is. As you push this outward, you want to experience the whole thing as if it's already manifest. Now the breathing method. Now I'm kind of backtracking here because the breathing method, I believe, is the most important part. And I believe this is the first thing you should master. Because a lot of people don't do it properly. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Keep your mouth open slightly. Okay, this helps to be sure that you can exhale with as little effort and opposition and resistance as possible. With closed lips, it's kind of hard to exhale fully and unhindered. Now what you want to do is do what I call square breathing. For instance, you inhale with 4 seconds. Then you're going to hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. And then hold your breath for 4 seconds. Now as you inhale, you want your belly to expand. As you exhale, you want your belly to contract. Okay? Inhale, the belly expands. exhale, the belly contracts and comes inward. Now, practice that. Practice the square breathing. And then there's a terminology used within the temple of the adversarial forge called full chalice and empty chalice. When you're holding the breath at full chalice, when you inhale, I want you to focus inward. Same at empty chalice. When you exhale for that 4 seconds, just become introverted for that moment. And in that moment, it's really a state of nothingness. You can really start to manifest some interesting phenomena. And at this point in time, you're really going to start to realize that we are spiritual entities. There's been times where during this point, this brief moment of holding the breath, that I've just stood up out of body, So that's really the first thing you want to master, because this applies to guided meditation as well. It's good to just get into that breathing pattern and make it a natural thing. That way you don't have to worry about it later on. No, that's just my particular opinion. Some people just breathe, inhale deeply, exhale deeply, and they get results. I'm a little more nitpicky than that. The guys and girls I work with, I definitely expect certain things. Just for the sake of discipline, really. Now, how often should you meditate? Well, first of all, this is a progressive thing. It really is. I try to do it daily, and I highly do. You should do it daily. You really should. I know E.A. Coetting said that he meditates for 1 minute out of every hour of the day, and as long as he does that, things pretty much go smoothly. And I tend to agree. I agree, because once I started doing that on a consistent basis, everything just ran more smoothly. My relationships weren't so tense with family. My life was a lot smoother and simpler. Why the whole mechanics of meditation, why that happens, I don't know, and I really don't care, because it's just the result that I care about. But that's what I have to say on meditation. There's really not too much to teach in regard to meditation, because it involves nothing but you. You have to learn experientially. And when you get to deeper meditative states, you're going to have more profound spiritual experiences. And that's why I believe this should be the foundation of every sorcerer's work. Because it is transforming. Meditation is magic within itself. It creates change in yourself, in your thought process, and the way you respond to things within the world. But stay consistent. Even if you do it every other day for 5 minutes to start somewhere. Add 1 minute a week. Start somewhere. Don't sit down and try to meditate for an hour, because you're just going to get frustrated, mad at yourself, and you're not going to do it. You're going to think it's useless. Okay, well, that's what I had to say. Anybody within the Forge that has any questions in regard to this, let me know. But, I really am trusting that most of you are already doing this, just because I'm always talking about it. I mean, you guys should just know. You should just be doing this. So, with that being said, I'm out of here. I got some things I have to do. Love you guys. I'm out.